So today we'll start with the cooling load estimation. Okay, so in earlier lecture we already studied what are the responsible factors for the because of which room temperature may rise. Okay, as you all know that human will not feel comfortable at the various ranges of temperature. Okay, so there are basically temperature inside the room must be within the certain limit so that human will feel comfortable. Apart from that, there must be a circulation of air, there must be a proper humidity inside the air, and so these are the main things necessary for the comfort of a human. Okay, so basically in cooling load estimation, first of all you already seen that what are the responsible factors for the because of which temperature of a room air may rise. Okay, so there must be sensible heat gain or there may be a latent heat gain. Okay, and there are a number of factors because of which there might be a temperature rise in the room. Okay, so we already seen the external factor as well as internal factors. Okay, now we will see the how cooling load estimation can be carried out. Okay, so first of all we have to see first thing, that is first factor, that is room sensible heat factor. Whenever we have to find out the for particular room, whenever we have to find out, okay, so for any particular room, whenever we have to find out how much is the cooling load. Okay, so for that purpose, first thing that we have to find out the room sensible heat factor. Okay, so there is a standard procedure to find out the room sensible heat factor, for which we need to have a psychrometric chart with us. Okay, so what is room sensible heat factor? So room sensible heat factor is nothing but the room sensible heat to the room total heat. Now room sensible heat, earlier we already know what are the different factors because of which room sensible heat may rise. Okay, that's occupants is there. Apart from that, there is equipments are there. Okay, so these are the number of factors because of which room sensibility may rise. Okay, there is also chances of room latent heat inside the room. Okay, so those which are the different factors for room sensibility latent heat. There may be a condensation or evaporation process that is taking place in the room. Apart from that, human. Okay, so as you all know that whenever there is sensible heat gain, that is whenever there is sensible heat gain. Okay, there is a rise in temperature of the room take place, and whenever there is addition or removal of moisture, there is yes, there will be a moisture addition or removal. That is what indicated by room latent heat. Okay, so how to find out room sensible heat factor? Okay, so on your screen you can see a alignment circle. Okay, so this is the starting point for the cooling load estimation. Okay, so this alignment circle is drawn on psychrometric chart. Okay, this is the point at 26 degrees Celsius dryable temperature and 50% relative humidity. Okay, so first of all, you have to draw alignment circle on a psychrometric chart that is at a 26 degrees Celsius dryable temperature and 50% relative humidity. Once you draw alignment circle, then we have to find out room sensible heat factor. Okay, room sensible heat factor can be find out by this formula, that is room sensible heat to the room total heat. Once you find out room sensible heat factor, there is a scale on right side of the psychrometric chart, that is sensible heat scale. Okay, sensible heat factor scale. Okay, so what we have to do, you have to just join alignment circle. Yes, we have to just join alignment circle to the sensible heat factor. Okay, suppose sensible heat factor is 0.7, you have to just join alignment circle with the 0.7 on sensible heat factor. Okay, after this, the first thing that we have to find draw is room sensible heat factor line on psychrometric chart. Okay, so for that purpose we need to know the inside room conditions. For this purpose we need to know the inside room conditions, means inside room dryable temperature, inside room wettable temperature, and inside room relative humidity. Suppose inside room temperature is 20 degrees Celsius and 60% relative humidity. Okay, so these are the things we need to have. For next, what we have to do, you have to just mark at dryable temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 60%, will get the inside room condition. Okay, from this what we have to do, we have to draw a line parallel to this line, that is a line that is joining alignment circle and room sensible heat factor line. Okay, so okay, So this line is extend till up to saturation line. Okay, and the point we got at the saturation line. Okay, this is at the point. You can see this as a point number 4. Okay, so with this we'll get a room sensibility factor line. Okay, so what is its importance? We'll see in its next further slides. Okay, so I hope you all understand about the room sensibility factor, how to draw room sensibility factor line. Okay, so now next factor that we have to find out in cooling load estimation is that is cross sensible heat factor. Okay, cross sensible heat factor. Okay, so already find out room sensible heat factor. Okay, so room sensible heat factor line, this can be drawn parallel to the this line, that is line joining alignment circle and room sensible heat factor. Okay, so after this you have to find out gross sensible heat factor. Now what is gross sensible heat factor? That is indicated by total sensible heat to the gross total heat. Now what is total sensible heat? That is room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat. There are number of factors because of which sensible heat gain may take place because of the outside factor, that is infiltration is there, then there is maybe a temperature rise because of the outside sun rays coming inside the room. Okay, so these are the number of factors because of which outside air sensibility may rise. Okay, but basically this outside air sensible heat is nothing but the sensible heat gain due to infiltration, sensible heat gain due to infiltration. Okay, so this is the thing that we should know. Now in case of a air conditioner, we never supply 100% fresh air. There must be a arrangement inside the air conditioner to recirculate the air inside, and mix it with the fresh air from the outside. Okay, so this mixing condition is nothing but the point number 3. Okay, you already drawn room sensibility factor line. Now we have to draw cross sensibility factor line. Okay, for that purpose we should know the mixing condition of the air. Means suppose there is a 60% recirculated air from the room and 40% fresh air from the outside that is entering inside the cooling coil. Okay, means condition is such that the 60% of the air is from the room and 40% from the outside. Okay, so you have to mark this point number 3 in between these two points. Okay, now what is this point? This point indicates outside condition of a air. Okay, that is air that is present outside to the room, and this indicates room design conditions. Means whatever the temperature and relative humidity we required to have, this indicates by point this particular point. Okay, and what is this? That is the mixing condition. Properties of air at the mixing condition means there is a recirculated air and pressure. After mixing we'll get the point, this point. Okay, from this point, once you get this particular point, okay, so from this point, as you all know that as earlier I have already covered one point, that is apparatus dew point temperature. Apparatus dew point temperature. Okay, in numerical, apparatus dew point temperature is given. Apparatus dew point temperature is given. What we have to do, we have to just join that mixing condition with the apparatus dew point temperature. Apparatus dew point temperature is nothing but a simply a cooling coil surface temperature. Apparatus dew point temperature is nothing but cooling coil surface temperature. So what we have to do, just we have to do 0.3 join this 0.3 with the apparatus dew point temperature. This will give us gross sensible heat factor line. Okay, and in case of a gross sensible heat, it accounts room sensible heat also plus outside air sensible heat also. So here we can see a room sensible heat line as well as gross sensible heat factor line. Okay, so this point 1 indicates the outside condition of air, point 2 indicates the room design conditions. Okay, again there may be alignment circle over here there. Okay, from that we have to join the with the room sensibility factor. Okay, then we have to draw a line parallel to the this particular line. Okay, we'll get the this room sensibility factor line. After that whatever the mixing condition given in the numerical, okay, you have to mark point number 3. Okay, mixing may take place before cooling coil or after cooling coil. I'm considering that the mixing is taking place before cooling coil. I'm considering that the mixing of a recirculated air and fresh air is take place before cooling coil. In those cases, we have to draw a mixing condition in between point 1 and point 2. As you all know that the point 1 is hot and point 2 is hot. Okay, so once you get the point number 3, you have to just join this point with the apparatus dew point temperature. Apparatus dew point temperature is nothing but the effective surface coil surface temperature. Okay, cooling coil surface temperature. Okay, once you draw this line, it will cross somewhere to the room sensibility factor line, and this particular point, that is point number 4, will indicate us about the supplied air from the cooling coil. Okay, so the air that is supplied to the room, it may be at a certain drivable temperature and its relative humidity. Okay, so this 4 indicates us about the supply condition of a room, and this 2 indicates about the room design conditions. Okay, so this is how we can draw room sensibility factor line as well as gross sensibility factor line. When we solve numericals, these concepts will further easily can be understood. Okay, the next factor that we have to find out, that is effective room sensibility factor. Okay, so we already find out gross sensibility factor. Okay, but in gross sensibility factor, we never accounts for the bypass factor of a cooling coil. As you all know that 100% air will not be pass over the cooling coil. There must be some bypass factor of 10% to the 20%. Okay, so for that purpose, whatever the value that we are getting in the gross sensibility factor, okay, in that formula, just we have to modify that formula, that is room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat into bypass factor of coil. You have to multiply the outside air sensible heat with the bypass factor of the coil. Okay, so because this is because of what, 100% air will not pass over the cooling coil, there must be some bypass. Okay, and to the effective room total heat. Now what is effective room total heat? This is the sum of these things, that is room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat, multiply that with the bypass factor, room latent heat plus outside air latent heat into bypass factor of the cooling coil. Okay, so this will give us about the effective room sensible heat factor. Okay, now how to calculate outside air sensible heat? As you all know that the outside air sensible heat, that is the, I'm considering that the outside air condition is at point 1. Okay, so now we have to calculate outside air sensible heat. Okay, so how to calculate outside air sensible heat? So simple formula is there, we already derived this formula, that is 0.02044, that is volume flow of a outside air, volume flow of a outside air. Okay, so we should know the specific volume at condition 1. Okay, into drivable temperature of outside air minus drivable temperature of inside air. This will give us outside air sensible heat gain. Then what is outside air latent heat gain? This will be what, 50 V1, that is 50 into volume flow rate of a outside air into omega 1 minus omega 2. Omega 1 is nothing but a specific humidity related to outside air, and omega 2 is nothing but specific humidity related to inside air. Okay, then outside air total heat gain, the total heat gain inside the room because of the outside air, this can be find out with the help of simple formula, that is 0.02 into volume flow rate into H1 minus H2, that is enthalpy corresponding to outside air minus enthalpy corresponding to inside air. Okay, so room sensible heat gain can be drawn like such, and room latent heat gain can be drawn like such. Okay, so this is what room latent heat, this line indicates room latent heat gain, and this line indicates room sensible heat gain. Okay, so this is all about different factors that we need to calculate while we have to conduct cooling load estimation. Okay, so first factor that we have to calculate is the room sensibility factor, which accounts the only room sensibility and room total heat. Okay, the next that we have to find out is groups gross sensibility factor. Okay, there is standard procedure to calculate gross sensibility factor. Last thing that you have to find out the effective room sensibility factor. Now, how to draw effective room sensibility factor line on psychrometric chart? Okay, once you solve or once you draw all those things, we are capable enough to calculate the cooling, whatever the cooling load on the cooling coil. Okay, so it is quite easy. After solving all those things, it is quite easy to calculate the cooling load on a cooling coil. Okay, now so this is the standard procedure. Okay, I'll repeat again for you so that we can easily solve the numericals. Okay, so outside room condition is at 0.1, inside condition is at 2. First of all, we have to mark alignment circle. Once you draw alignment circle, we have to draw a line which touches the room sensibility factor line. After that, we have to draw from the room design condition. We have to draw a line parallel to this line and extend up to saturation line. Once you draw a room sensibility factor line, after that we have to see the mixing conditions, means whether there is mixing condition of a recirculated air and fresh air. Okay, now you all know that the fresh air is necessary. Okay, if there is no fresh air, there may be a discomfort to the human. Okay, so for that purpose, recirculated air is mixed along with the fresh air. Okay, so as per the mixing condition, we have to mark point. After that, we have to just join this point with the apparatus dew point temperature. That is, apparatus dew point temperature is nothing but the cooling coil surface temperature. Okay, and the point where it crosses the room sensibility factor indicates us about the supply condition of air. Okay, now how to draw effective room sensibility factor line? We already seen raw room sensibility factor line, gross sensibility factor line. Now to draw effective room sensibility factor line, we have to just join point 2 with the point number 6. We will get the effective room sensibility factor line. Okay, now how to calculate the bypass factor of a cooling coil? Okay, there is cooling coil and we have to calculate the bypass factor of the cooling coil. See, these are the condition that is taking place within the air conditioning room in case of a summer air conditioning. As we all know that in case of a summer air conditioning, we have to, yes, cool and dehumidify the air. Dehumidify and cooling of the air is necessary in case of a summer air conditioning. So this is the things that we need to know. Okay, so how to draw this effective room sensibility factor line? Just we have to join these 2 with the 6. Now how to calculate room sensibility, gross sensibility factor and effective room sensible heat factor? Just we have to extend this line up to this point. We will get the gross sensibility factor, and to find out the effective room sensibility factor, we have to just extend this line up to the room sensibility factor. We will get the effective room sensibility factor line. Okay, so before that, we will see about the how to calculate bypass factor of a cooling coil. So to calculate the bypass factor of a cooling coil, okay, so we already know bypass factor is nothing but the amount of air that is not coming into contact with the cooling air. Okay, so in case of ideal condition, the supply condition is at 3 and apparatus dew point temperature is at 6. Okay, means if there is in ideal condition, this temperature will drop down up to 6, but in actual cases it is not possible. Okay, so there must be some bypass. So in that condition, okay, in that condition, the temperature will drop up to this point. The temperature of a temperature of a mixed air will drop up to this point. Okay, and this will give us about a bypass factor. So bypass factor can be calculated as TD6 minus, TD4 minus TD6 to the TD3 minus TD6. This will give us about the bypass factor. Okay, and efficiency can be calculated as 1 minus bypass factor. This will use the efficiency of a, efficiency means nothing but the whatever the useful work we are getting from the input. Okay, so this will be the useful temperature drop from 3 to 4. Okay, suppose inside mixing, after mixing condition, the temperature of air is, आता येतोय का आवाज? आवाज, hello? Okay, so efficiency of a cooling coil can be calculated, that is 1 minus bypass factor. Okay, so we'll see some numericals on this. Okay, So you already find out the different points on psychrometric chart. Okay, this is the standard procedure to find out the cooling load estimation. Okay, means before cooling load estimation, we must know the what are the factors because of which room temperature may rise. Okay, after that we have to just go through a procedure. Okay, that is whatever the temperature required inside the room, you must know. This is the design condition of the room. Okay, and this is the outside condition of the room that we already know. Okay, summer outside temperature is always higher than the inside room temperature. Okay, so this is the condition there. Okay, once you all know condition of the air, that is outside and inside, we are quite easy to find out the room sensibility factor as well as gross sensibility factor and effective room sensibility factor. Okay, so just what we have to we have to do cooling load estimation. Okay, so once you calculate done the cooling load estimation, it is quite easy to decide how much capacity of a or how much ton of a air conditioner we need to install for for a particular room. Okay, so we'll see some numericals. First numerical, as you see on your screen, tell me up to this, are you all understanding the cooling load estimation? Just raise your hand. I hope all of you understand. If you all understanding the concepts, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Okay. See, the function of air conditioner is not to just maintain the temperature of air inside. The function of air conditioner, basically function of air conditioner is nothing but to provide comfort to a human. Okay, so to provide a comfort to a human, there are basically four factors that is required. That is temperature of air, as already I will discuss with you. Humidity of air, that is inside humidity of air. Then freshness of air. Okay, that is air must be filtered, and circulation of air. Fresh air must be circulated inside the room, as because when we use same kind of air, percentage of CO2 inside the inside the room may rise, and this might feel discomfort to you. There may be chances of headache. Okay, so basically these are the things that is needed in case of a air conditioning. Okay, I hope you all understand up to this point. Okay, so we'll start with the numericals on air conditioning. Okay, okay, so I just read the numerical. An air conditioned auditorium is to be maintained at 27 degrees Celsius variable temperature and 60% relative humidity. The ambient condition is means outside condition is 40 degrees Celsius drivable temperature and 30 degrees Celsius variable temperature. Okay, the total sensible heat load is that is 1 lakh kilojoule per hour, and total latent heat load is 40,000 kilojoule per hour. Means total sensible heat load and total latent heat load is given. So usually you can calculate room sensible heat factor. Then next is what 60% of return air is recirculated. Means whatever the room 100% air inside the room, out of which 60% room air is recirculated and mixed with 40% makeup air. Means 40% outside air will be passed over the cooling coil along with the 60% return air after cooling coil. After cooling coil means in this case 40% air will be passing over the cooling coil, and after that mixing will take place. Okay, the condition of air leaving the cooling coil is at 18 degrees Celsius. The condition of air is given also, that is leaving the cooling coil. Now what we have to find out, room sensible heat factor. What we have to find out, room sensible heat factor. The condition of air entering the auditorium. The condition of air entering the auditorium. Okay. Next we have to find out the amount of makeup air. Okay, means 40% makeup is there, but what is the amount in kg we have to find out. Then apparatus dew point temperature, that is the cooling coil surface temperature. And last thing that we have to find out the bypass factor of the cooling coil. Okay, there must be some bypass factor of cooling that we have to find out. Okay, again we will follow the same procedure. We first find out the room sensibility factor, then effective room sensibility factor, sorry, gross sensibility factor, and lastly effective room sensibility factor. Okay, you have to show the process on psychrometric chart. So on your screen you can see the given data. Okay, Suppose the outside condition of the air is given, that is outside air temperature is dry bulb temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, wet bulb temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, inside I'm marking this as a one. Inside, that is auditorium design temperature is given, that is TD for 27 degrees Celsius, and required relative humidity is 60%. Okay, so after the after this, a 60% return air is, yes, we can see here the 60% of return air is circulated. Means from there is a opening provided, so that the 60% of recirculated, means 100% air is there. Out of this 60% air is recirculated with the help of a fan is provided there, and the help of which we can supply 60% of air to the this mixing chamber, to the mixing chamber. Okay, and 40% of air is pass over. First, it is pass over cooling coil. See, mixing is taking place after cooling coil. Means the cooling coil, that is outside air, which is at a 40 degrees Celsius. First, it is passed over the cooling coil, and it is then cooled. Okay, so its temperature is there given. That is condition of air leaving the cooling coil is given. The air temperature of the temperature of air leaving the cooling coil is given. That is 18 degree Celsius. This 18 degree Celsius air mix up with the 27 degree Celsius air inside the mixing box, and then with the help of fan it is supplied inside the auditorium. So these are the conditions given. Okay, these are the conditions given. Okay, now first thing that we have to find out, again we have to follow the same procedure. First thing that we have to find out the room sensible heat. Okay, so room sensible heat factor is nothing but the room sensible heat to the room total heat. See, as we can see, that is the room sensible heat is this much and room latent heat is this much. So from this we can find out room sensible heat factor. It comes out to be 0.714. Okay, so it comes out to be 0.714. Now we can see the various lines on psychrometric chart. Okay, this is the psychrometric chart. Okay, so again we have to follow the same procedure. First we have to mark alignment circle, that is at 26 degrees Celsius drivable temperature and 50% relative humidity. Okay, so just join this point with the sensible heat factor. It is how much? 0.714. Okay, once you join this, then mark outside condition. Okay, so outside condition is what? Wet bulb temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, dry bulb temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. So dry bulb temperature is 40 degrees Celsius and wet bulb temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Then mark inside condition. What is the inside design condition? That is 27 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature and 60% relative humidity. Okay, just mark 27 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature and 60% relative humidity. We'll get 0.14. Okay, we'll get 0.14. Okay, after that we have to just draw a line parallel to this line. Okay, once you draw a line parallel to this, you will get the line 4 to 5. Okay, okay, so once you got the line 4 to 5, after that, as the cooling coil, the temperature of air leaving the cooling coil is given. Temperature of air leaving the cooling coil, this is not the condition of air supplied to the air. After this air mix up with the 27 degrees Celsius air, means supply condition will be different. Okay, so I will just mark point number 2. Okay, this is point number 2 on this 4 to 5 line, on this 4 to 5 line. Sorry. Okay, so I will get the point number 2. I will get the point number 2. Okay, now 100% fresh air is passing over the cooling coil and mixing is taking place after cooling coil. Okay, once I draw a 18 degrees Celsius line, I will just join point number 1 with point number 2 and extend this line up to the point number 6. Extend this line up to point number 6, and this will give us effective cooling coil surface temperature. This cooling coil surface temperature is nothing but the apparatus dew point temperature. We'll get the point number 6. Okay, and what you have to find out, that first is room sensibility factor. We already find out. Apparatus dew point temperature I also find out. Okay, The next thing is condition of air entering the auditorium. Now condition of air entering the auditorium is what? That is third point. Okay, this is what? Third point. Now what happens in case of a in a mixing box? Okay, so in mixing box, 60% of recirculated air is mixed up with the 40% of fresh air. Means this recirculated air temperature is higher. Okay, that is 27 degrees Celsius, and this fresh air temperature, that is after the cooling coil, is lower. Means when this 60% air mixed with the 80 degrees Celsius air, it rises its temperature by 60%. I'm concerned it rises its temperature by 60%. Okay, means this 18 degrees Celsius air, its temperature will rise by 60%. Okay, so what we have to do, we can see a 2 to 4 line. Okay, 2 to 4 line. So what we have to do, mark this point in such a way that this point third will be 60% from this particular point and 40% from the this particular point. As 40% fresh air, that is at 18 degrees Celsius, it drops this 27 degrees Celsius air temperature by a 40%. Okay, by a 40%. So this temperature will be dropped by 40% and this temperature will be rise by 60%, and we will get the point number 3. And that condition of the air is nothing but the supply condition of the air. From that point we can find out dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature also, and relative humidity also. Okay, so here we can see the supply condition of the air. Okay, now the formula for the mass of supply of air to the auditorium is nothing but, now what is that? There's room total heat. Now what is room total heat? That is room sensible heat plus room latent heat divided by enthalpy of supplied room air minus enthalpy of supplied air. Okay, okay, this will give us a mass flow rate of a supplied air. Now mass flow rate of supplied air is can find out by this formula. Okay, once you find out the mass flow rate of supplied air, but out of the supplied air 40% is fresh air and 60% is recirculated air, we have to find out the mass flow of a fresh air. So mass flow of a fresh air will be zero point 0.4 into 28,000. 28,000 is the mass flow of a supply air, that is in kg per hour. Okay, just we have to multiply this with the 0.4, we will get the mass flow of a supplied air. Okay, so with this we stop here. I'll see further in next lecture.